Being a late millennial, a zillennial like me, or just straight up Gen Z right now is honestly such a weird experience because we were taught one version of adulthood, right? But we entered a completely different world, bro. Because growing up, we heard the cliche American dream that we all so loved, right? That blueprint of going to school, getting your degree, get a stable job. Somewhere along the way, you'll meet the love of your life, get married, have kids, buy a house, and then, you got the American dream. Simple, right? Well, yeah, the rules changed, bro. Yet, we're still being judged by the expectations built for a different time. It's like somebody upped the difficulty halfway through the game, and then everyone who's already passed the game is looking at us like, why are you guys struggling? And it's like, bro, you guys changed the damn difficulty settings. What do you expect? And nowhere is that more obvious than trying to get your first real job. Now, the job market right now is absolutely fried. There are so many people who genuinely want to work, you know, they want to use their degrees to establish their careers and build their independence, but getting your foot in the door, that's the hardest part, bro. You spend hours looking for jobs, right? Tailoring resumes, filling out applications and cover letters and all that whole shebang. And then bam, nada, bro. You get ghosted, you know, and then the job posting's not there anymore. And eventually you stop asking what's wrong with the system and more looking internal. You start to ask, what's wrong with me? And that's dangerous, bro, because rejection doesn't just hurt your resume, bro. It starts hurting your confidence. And this is evident in nursing for me. Everyone says, go into healthcare, you'll always have a job. There's always going to be a demand for nurses. And nursing has been an amazing career for me so far. Depending on what kind of nurse you are and where you work, you know, it's been good to me, right? But I watched classmates struggle to get that first opportunity, bro. You spend years earning the degree, surviving clinicals, passing boards, just sacrificing your time, and employers will still ask, well, we need experience. And it's like, bro, this is my first job. How the fuck and where the fuck do you think I'm supposed to get it? And that's where another problem starts. It's how we network. Personally, I'm not the biggest proponent of LinkedIn, not because I think networking is bad, right? Networking is one of the best things you can do. But LinkedIn sometimes feels like Instagram or TikTok for careers, bro. Everybody's posting promotions, achievements, announcing the next big move. It's basically a professional dick measuring contest. And while everyone's posting their wins, there are thousands of people who are quietly getting rejected, who are suffering, bro, who are crying, man. That's why I always prefer networking in person. Because for me, during nursing school, I was fortunate enough to make a genuine impression on people. You know, my manager, my current manager, remembered me. You know, the people who I worked with remembered me. And they remembered my work ethic, my attitude, the way I showed up. That helped open doors because a resume tells people what you've done, right? Everyone has that same ass skill set. But your character tells people who you are, the intangibles, right? That a screen can't measure. People don't just hire resumes, they hire people. And the old blueprint doesn't fit anymore. That leads to another problem, right? That leads down to comparison. You'll hear people say, you're still living with your parents, or you're not married yet, you don't own a house. Well, back in my day, or when I was your age, okay, I get where they're coming from, but they're comparing two different worlds. Housing is more expensive, college is more expensive, the job market looks completely different. It's the same finish line, it's just a different race. And this boss fight has way more health bars than the bosses they faced back in the day. And then COVID, right? COVID happened. For a few years, we were told to just be hermits and to not socialize. Then suddenly, we were told to hop off Zoom. And then it was like, all right, everybody, take your masks off, go back to normal again. And it's like, bro, my social skills are still buffering, bro. But seriously, I think we're still feeling the effects. We're connected to everyone, yet so many people have never felt more alone. So, another thing, are young people lazy? Well, some are. There are those losers who rot in bed and don't do anything all day, right? Every generation has lazy people, but I don't think laziness explains why so many people feel stuck. I think a lot of people are just straight up overwhelmed, discouraged, and burnt out. There's a difference between not wanting success and wondering if you'll ever get that opportunity or that chance to reach it. So, were we set up to fail? Absolutely. But this is the world we inherited, right? So don't waste your life comparing timelines. And don't let the internet convince you you're behind, bro, because you're writing your own story, man. That's what makes every everybody unique, you know? Focus on becoming a little better every day. All right? So until then, stay grounded, keep swinging, and don't get caught on the web. I'll catch y'all in the next one.